Yo, what up? It's your boy, Mr. E, and today we're going to talk a little bit about scatter plots. First off, I wanted to do a little shout out to Green Team. Today is Friday, and I'm missing you guys a whole bunch. Hopefully, you guys are recycling at home, keeping it green at home as well. Scatter plots are one of my most favorite ways to represent data because it's a lot like coordinate planes, and I love coordinate planes. It's one of my favorite topics of the year. So I think you'll enjoy it too. It might be a little confusing at first, but with a little practice, it will become easier, okay? So let's take a look at a couple different types of scatter plots, okay? So these are what scatter plots look like. They'll have an x-axis, a y-axis, they'll have a couple of dots over them, and then we can try to take a look at the correlations these dots have, okay? So let's take a look at this first graph on the left. So we can see as the temperature is increasing, the ice cream sales are increasing as well. That's something we would call an upward trend. And that makes sense. We're probably not going to buy ice cream when it's close to 0 degrees. I don't really crave ice cream when it's really, really cold outside. However, when it's hotter, it seems like there's a lot more sales of ice creams. So that again would be called an upward trend. Let's take a look at this next one. This one says, with the number of missing assignments increasing, the students' grades are decreasing. Ooh, that's some of you guys though, because you're high quality students and you would never let that happen. This is what we would call a downward trend. And it makes sense. If you have a whole bunch of missing assignments, your grade is probably going to be a little lower. And then the last one, this one says about how awesome Mrs. Plyler is. And then the y-axis is labeled baskets made by LeBron James. Is how awesome Miss Plyler really depend on how many baskets LeBron James makes? No. And he honestly doesn't make very many if he's shooting because he's not a great shooter. But that'd be no trend. It wouldn't make any sense. Those two things don't correlate with each other. So that's why the dots are all over the place and they don't really make a whole lot of sense. So again, we've got an upward trend when the dots are going up. We've got a downward trend when the dots are going down. And when the dots are like all over the place and kind of funky, there's no trend at all. So we know how to read a scatter plot. It's just like reading a coordinate plane. Now we're going to take a look at how we can make one. And we're going to make one by looking at some umbrella cells. What's this?
No clouds in my stones, let it rain out.
Jay-Z, get out of here. Nobody wants to hear your hit single with Rihanna in 2007. All right, let's get back to math. Okay, so we've got some umbrella cells here. And it looks like we have the month that it happened, looks like we have the number that it was sold, and it looks like we have our rainfall. Luckily, we already have a little grid over here that is helping us out. So we can see that the rainfall is going to be our x-axis. So we're going to plot the points here for x, and the y-axis is the number sold, okay? So I think I want to do a nice green because I'm really feeling green team right now, okay? So what I like to do is I like to label which one's X and which one's Y, okay? So X is going to be our rainfall, Y is going to be our number sold. So we can kind of think of these as ordered pairs. So this ordered pair would be 4, 45. And we could do that with every single one. So let's plot 4, 45. Remember, we start at 0 at the origin, we go over to 4, and we come up to 45. 45 is right about in the middle between 40 and 48, so we'll put that dot right here, okay? So that represents our first point, 4, 45. Let's take a look at the next one. This one, there were 5 inches of rainfall, but there was still 45 umbrellas sold. So the cool thing about scatter plots is we can actually have a lot of points at the same one, okay? So on this one, start at the origin, move over 5, move up to 45, and we put a dot right here. And that gets us our number sold in April. The next one is May. April showers bring May flowers. We've got 3 for our rainfall and 30 for our number sold. So we notice on this one with the rainfall being a little less, we had our number drop a little bit in the number sold. So again, start at the origin, move over to 3, go up to 30. That one's pretty close to 32, so we're going to put that dot right here. Okay, notice that I'm not drawing any lines in between them. These dots are just going to stay by themselves. All right, so the next one is 2, comma 20, 2 comma 20. Start at the origin, move over 2, go up to 20, about halfway between these two. Next one is 1 comma 10. Again, when I see a table, I always like to make sure that I make my ordered pairs. Nice little step for you to do to make sure you're staying organized. 1 comma 10. So I'm noticing as the rainfall is starting to get lower, my number of umbrellas are also getting lower as well. And then we have one more where we only had one. This might have been done in Texas. It seems like we don't get very much rain in August or July. So 1 comma 5, that dot would be right around here. Okay. So we've just created our scatter plot. Okay. So we can see that this one, as the rainfall increases, the number of umbrellas increase as well. So let me ask you a question. What do we notice about the trend of this scatter plot? Would this be an upward trend, a downward trend, or no trend at all? Yes, it would definitely be an upward trend because we're seeing the dots as we go down the x-axis, it's increasing on the y-axis. Why does this make sense? Well, if we're going to have a lot more rainfall, I'm more likely to go out and buy an umbrella. I honestly don't use umbrellas very much because I don't stay too much outside. But if it's raining a whole bunch, I definitely get my umbrella out, okay? So scatter plots, they're just a lot like coordinate planes. So you have an X value, you have a Y value, you make ordered pairs. Scatter plots are really helpful for those who do data analysis to look at those trends, to see which way something is trending, if it's up, if it's down, or if there's no trend at all, okay? So I hope that this was helpful. Hopefully this helps you get your STEM scopes assignments done and you feel like this is super duper easy. If you do have any questions, scatter plots are a new concept for 5th graders. You're more than welcome to contact your teacher. We are more than happy to help you, okay? Hope you guys had a great week and we love you a lot. We miss you a lot and we'll see you later. Bye.